everyone, my name is Tina, and welcome to my Genshin channel. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, the Skirk anime came out! I just cannot wait to learn more about her, I just cannot wait to listen to the music as well. So first of all, I just want to watch the whole thing, get my reaction, and afterwards I want to analyze every single scene. Because oh my god, we already see a weird place. It's all red here, this does not look like Teyvat. Let's start the video. As Skirk. I mean, they said that Skirk can't cut through the sky, and we already see the fake sky. Okay. There's already quite a lore here. Yep, we know that one about Descenders. I mean, we already kind of knew that Skirk is not from this universe. Ooh, but Skirk is not a Descender. Ooh. Oh, wait, is this Surtalogi? Did he try to get Skirk as a Descender, but she's not a Descender? Now he just said that she lacks the wheel, but I just want to listen to the music now. Analysis later. Through the fake sky, Skirk descends, not as a Descender, but descends into Teyvat. Oh my god. I'm gonna sing this song, by the way, 100%. Oh my god, Baby Sabrina! Oh my god, she's so cute! Holy! Oh my god, I want to Genshin him so much. So they were the first ones seeing it. I mean, I guess Nubilet knows about Descenders. Wait, he was also taught by that, by Skirk. Oh my god. This is still her like old clothing, or at least like the one that she uses in the like the elemental skill. Oh my god. Even her eyes is super weird. It's like the pupils. The pupil has been a lot of things in Genshin, but yeah. Ivanilus is here! Oh my god. I already have so many things I want to talk about. But later, I just don't listen to the song now. Oh my god, even Stimeri. Ah! Oh, my husband! My husband! Oh my god. This is so cool. Oh, this is the moonlit forest? Possibly. That is Ajax. I wanted to say Surtalogi. I'm not. You know what I mean. Oh, Lola rebounds. Oh, those are the abyss creatures as well. Oh, this is their elemental skill form. I forgot the name of that, but you know what I mean. Oh, this is the abyss, right? She's like fighting through the abyss. That's why she wanna regain all the power to beat Surtalogi and be a Descender. Oh, and the fragments. What is beyond the fragments? We've seen like something like her sister or younger self, something like that. Oh my god! This is the first! This, oh my god. She arrived and saw Arlo dribbling on the sand. I am just so fasting over every single little detail. No, that's it! Oh no. Oh no! Oh my god, I know it's 3 minutes, that is a normal length for a song. But I don't know, it just went by super fast. Animation, absolute top-notch. Song, absolute top-notch. But we're also here for some lore. So let's dive into that. First of all, the fake sky. The fake sky, which was first, by the way, mentioned in a limited time even by Scaramouche. Ever since then became such a main point of Genshin. And it actually reached the climax when we finally see it by ourselves in Natlan Our Conquest. And once again, in the full display, the fake sky is here. And there is something that is like kind of a leak, but it was leaked by miHoYo themselves, so I don't know if I should count it one as or not. But if you remember that one event, the Valkyrie web event, which was like a month ago, there was supposed to be one last phase of that. miHoYo accidentally published a picture, which was like, I think they're supposed to do it later. But the thing is, are we gonna be learning more about that now? Because in that image, there was still a moon intact beyond the fake sky. And here, this is not really intact. This is quite destroyed. However, right after the eye, this eye right here, this is one that we haven't seen before. As you know, the Carians have the little diamond in their eyes, and also there is a special one for Arlecchino, but there are some theories suggesting that's because she's not from the Eclipse dynasty like the other Carians. She's from the previous one, and that's why it's different. Now this is just a brand new one, and it's honestly looking like a Quanta. Is it just me? Honestly, I'm not really playing other Hoyoverse games. However, this is like, I mean, at least a black hole. Could be just a design choice as well, but like it's very suspicious. And then there is Surtalogi Surtalogi talking to Skirk, very important, talking about the Descenders. First of all, she came from a different universe. I mean, we kind of knew this already, this is a confirmation, but just because she's from a different universe, it doesn't mean that she's a Descender. And this is something that Nahida told us actually back in like years ago at this point, that anyone from outside Teyvat is known as an outsider, but in order for them to be Descenders, they have to have the will to change fate. And it seems like Surtalogi brought Skirk into Teyvat to be the 5th Descender. I'm not sure what Heavenly Principles think about that, but I mean, Surtalogi is a sinner, so I don't think he cares. And here's a very interesting part, because if you remember back to Perrin Harry, which as you know from Piero, very closely resembles actual real-life Teyvat events, the Conrians tried to bring outsiders into their orphanage for them to become Descenders. That was their way to fight the gods in Teyvat. However, it seems like Surtalogi also was onto something like that. And also something that I just noticed, the moment Skirk was brought into this world, she seems to already have like the abyssal arms and like abyssal legs. We know from the Skirk comic now that she can just regrow limbs because, I mean, why not? Maybe these are a little more intact, but they're definitely already having abyssal motives. And this is, by the way, her elemental skill form, which is also known as like the 7-phase flash, I think. By the way, I much prefer this one over to the white outfit, but it seems like at least in the animation, this is how she came into this world. But there is one big problem, is that according to Surtalogi, she is not ready yet to be a Descender, which, if we believe Nahida, means she just does not have the will to do so. And I talked about this, but yeah, it is like confirmed that Surtalogi was the one who opened the fake sky for her. And here's a new term that we haven't really seen beforehand. In English they translate it as trespasser, but the word in itself is mikosha, and it has a very specific meaning in Japanese, since those are the people who like stuck on airplanes or boats without a ticket. And since you know from the version trailer there's gonna be some starship in Teyvat, it kind of implies that she came with that starship without like belonging there. Now it also could be just all figurative and we haven't seen the starship for now, but the word choice is definitely interesting. There are more common words in Japanese for trespassers, but the one they use here, mikosha, that is very explicitly for like ships and airplanes and all kinds of stuff. She was wandering around in the real universe, this is right? Like if Teyvat is actually just beyond the fake sky, then this is how the real universe looks like, and it's not looking good. There are just debris everywhere. And also, we can actually see on this shot what seems to be a horizon of a planet. So it could be there is some kind of a ruined planet beyond Teyvat. And that's the whole reason for the fake sky to hide this from us. And also, this whole red thing, this is not looking pretty, so I can understand why the unknown god would do that. Oh, and if you're curious why the unknown god might be involved, make sure to check out my video about the special program announcement, because I kind of talked more about that. But yeah, I mean, she has to appear in the next Archon quest or like Skirk's quest or something like that. There's just so much talk about the fake sky. We have seen the unknown god's cubes as well in the trailer. It's coming, guys, it's coming. As we are now entering the Teyvat beyond the fake sky. This is kind of how 5 stars look like, no? Is it turning also golden? Okay, they haven't animated that part. But I really hope I see this with a little golden glow in just a short week. And I mean, I know the whole gacha mechanic is not necessarily lore related. Like a gacha game has to have some visual mechanic. But like coming down from the clouds, this is 100% resembling the beautiful feeling of seeing a 5-star coming down. Okay, this is more pink than golden. She's just a 4-star, huh? And now, after that, we see Furina! She's so insanely good animated. Oh my god, I cannot wait for the Genshin anime. I want to see all these characters animated in a whole feature series. Nuvilet is here, and the two of them being together means that Skirk came to Teyvat when Furina was already ruling, so that has to be at least after a cataclysm, and also after the siblings have arrived. And I'm not necessarily sure how much Nuvilet knew about even us, but then about Skirk as well. He might know what was happening, even if for Furina it probably just didn't mean much. Skirk landing. She landed in Fountain, it seems like. It's not even a ping. She's just a 3-star. Animation doing her dirty. Here's an interesting part. Something I'm actually really wondering about. Because Surtalogi talking about, like, if you want to defeat me, then you have to go on the same path as I once walked. But to my knowledge, at least, Surtalogi is not an outsider. It kind of implies to me that maybe he wanted to be a Descender. Also, one of the reasons could be why he could not succeed is because he was not an outsider. But it seems like he wanted to be a Descender, didn't work out, and now he wants Skirk to do the same. As she's still in the 7-phase flesh suit. And I mean, okay, her arms is like not as corrupted, I guess. So it could be that those are still her real limbs. But even later on, I mean, they look kind of similar. It's really hard to tell from animation, like if they're corrupted or not, because in the game there is always like, there's just an abyssal effect whenever we see her, and at least for now in the animation we haven't seen that. So I'm not necessarily sure how that part works. Like, why did she have those corrosions, at least part of that, even when coming to Teyvat? Maybe this is just a stylistic choice. Maybe we get an answer in the story quest. I don't know. But another important part is that it is not your home and you don't belong here. Kinda gives me vibes of like she has a limited time in Teyvat. Like if she stays here for too long, something bad is gonna be happening. But I could also see it being like encouragement, as in like you're not from here, so if you have the will, you can become a descender. And as I said before, in the eye, we kinda see the quanta, though it's not necessarily the same because the quanta has like, I don't know how to explain this, but I kind of like overlapping rings. This is more just like in together as like one piece around. Still could be black holes, still could be like spacey. I mean, it looks very spacey to me, but that was my first impression. And there is Alice talking to us. Here is something. I feel like the English translation did not really do it justice, because in Japanese, what she's saying is Tabi no hito. Let's not have the possession indicate the... I don't even know how it's called in English. Let's not have the no there. And if you read this word now, that means tabibito. Yes, that is traveler. I mean, this definitely just means like traveling person. It's not a special word or anything. But when I heard it, I was like, oh. And I mean, I'm not sure why Alice and Paimon would use the same lingo. There's a lot of things we don't know about Paimon. And now here they're being another outsider who's not a descender, but I mean, could be a descender. And here's another person whose first intuition is to call it tabibito, Tabi no hito, almost the same, as she's exploring Teyvat. Also, Sumeru, the desert. You can see all the places we have been through as well. And there is my husband. Oh my god, there is my husband. Of course, I was impressed with the blade because this is beyond Teyvat. And hopefully soon in my account as well. But my wishes, they're not looking too good. So my wallet, I'm very sorry for what I'm about to do to you next week. However, there was something else here. Dainsleif looked very angry. Okay, I just realized I'm kind of stupid. Of course, Dainsleif knows about Surtalogi. Okay, I mean, that makes more sense. That's why he's so angry. He knows. I really want to see their fight scene. As afterwards, we see her in which seems to be like maybe the moonlit bamboo forest. I don't know if it has any low relevance. If I have to guess, I think it's just showcasing that she was also in Leah, because we've seen her in Fountain, Sumeru. So she was also in Leah, traveling through Teyvat. And right after, finally, we also hear Tartaglia. This is something Tartaglia talked about in his voice lines, as well as it was mentioned in the comic yesterday. But Tartaglia wants Skirk to fight with both hands, because as he said, whenever she was training him, she always only used one hand. And Tartaglia is just like, come on, like don't belittle me like this. But Skirk said he is not ready to do that yet. And up until this day, I think she still hasn't done that. So maybe in her story quest, maybe Tartaglia is finally gonna be ready then. I mean, we just see her fighting in the abyss and all the memory fragments if you just slow down. You can see she's thinking about all the places she has visited as the abyss monsters attacked then. And this just has to be the abyss. It's looking very abyssal. There are a lot of abyss creatures. I mean, these swords in the background looking very similar to that. And obviously there is a lot of mimicking abyss enemy, as she has slain them all. But she still want to get stronger. She still want to follow Surtalogi's path to become a descender. I love her already. I'm gonna get her 100%. We see some broken fragments, and this is something that has not been answered in this short. What is her goal? Who is that girl that we have seen in the comic in one of those little fragments? And this is something that has not been answered in this. The last scene, by the way, I mean, I got very hyped to see that for the first time, but I mean, this has some meaning, a lot of meaning, because this is obviously what we have made in the very start of the game in the sand, and she has recognized it. What did she recognize? The unknown god who's making the cubes, and she might even recognize the two people coming from beyond the stars, as she has also done that. But since her goal is to become a descender, seeing the 4 descenders drawing, I mean, she's probably feeling jealous of us, right? Maybe she wanna learn our tactics. How did we become descenders? Unknown god, 100% gonna be appear either in the Archon quest or in the story quest. And while we don't know why, still, somehow she definitely wants to follow, I guess, our path then, not even Surtalogi's. And if we go frame by frame, then eventually we see that Skirk also sees another shooting star. Now, this is probably not a descender or an outsider. Once again, we know that Skirk arrived to Teyvat after the siblings, so that's definitely not us. Could be maybe someone else, an outsider, but most likely that's another shooting star. And that reminds me how she's an outsider but not a descender yet. Seeing our drawing, one of the descenders drawing, seeing the shooting star as well, we can see kind of a sadness I wouldn't say envy, it's more like a feeling when you're sad that there's something that you could not achieve. There's definitely something I get with Skirk, like she wants to be like us, she wants to be a descender, but for now, she's just not capable of that for some reason. I mean, she looks super strong, so I'm not necessarily sure what's missing. According to Nahida, the veil, but it's kind of a vague term, so I'm not necessarily sure if it's true or maybe there is something else. That's something we don't know, but we're likely gonna get some answers at least in the story quest. So this is it. This is what we have gotten here. A beautiful song, and I would say some pretty huge lore drops. There is still so much to learn, so much left in secret. I mean, obviously, story quest coming out in a week. They couldn't just tell us everything, but this little teaser absolutely got my hopes up for the next quest line, because then the new patch drops, and this is gonna be, I think, one of the biggest patch story-wise in a very long time. So I'm looking forward to that, and obviously I'm gonna be making so much content about everything. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give a like and subscribe for more content. I was on my Genshin channel, and see you in the next video. Bye bye!